Then we open a new terminal to check if the virtual machine has been successfully created. The answer is yes. Now let's show the process of reliable migration. First, we log into the migration module of the client, which has been developed and deployed. For the convenience to better show the migration process, let's create another terminal and log in the cloud controller by SSH while installed a migration controller. Then, we view the security attributes file of the migrating VM from the client. And on the server node, we can see all the trusted clusters and the corresponding security attributes file. Now we find that there are three clusters in this cloud environment. And different clusters on different security levels, and their security attributes present relationship of inclusion. In other words, the security attributes of high security level include all the security attributes of a low security level. In the server side, we start the migration service port. We can see that the server is waiting for the migration request from client. In the client side, we can use server's IP address and port ID to access. Then we enter the migrating virtual machine ID number and the name of security configuration file. Because of the returned information shows that the security configuration cannot match to any one of the cluster security attributes file in cloud, which means that we cannot find corresponding security clusters. And now we will test the second one. Enter the ID number of the VM and enter the name of configuration file. The server is starting to calculate its security level, and now we can see that there is a security attribute that is inconsistent with all the security attributes in the cloud platform. In other words, the expected security configuration did not exist in the security environment. Then the server notifies the user to check. As a user, I can check the security attributes file and get a warning from the server that there was one security attribute called PPP is not existed in the cloud platform. The security attributes here is just provided suggestions or alias. Users can modify or extend the security attributes by deploying their own cloud platform according to their own security requirements. So the security level calculated by the server is 1, and then we can find that the objective security zone is Beijing. Okay, I will present the migration process in the function of reliable migration module with negotiation and remote attestation. I will first introduce the background. Let's view the security configuration file of the VM. There are only two security attributes in this VM. In this cloud environment, all the security configuration files of clusters include an attribute called TPM. However, the configuration file of this VM has nothing about TPM. Then we will see how the security level can be calculated, how they negotiate with each other, and how to enhance its security configuration. Now we enter the name of security attributes file and transmit it to the server, which equipped with the reliable migration module. We can see that the security level turned out to be 2, which was calculated in the server. At the same time, we are informed that TPM support should be added into the file. When the user edits the configuration file and adds the security attribute of TPM support to it, the VM will be migrating normally. If we implement this idea and make a product, it will not need trouble the users to modify the XML file. A customized graphic interface can be provided, which is much more convenient for a user to select or modify security attributes. The name of every attribute must be strictly matched to the items in the security attributes file in Cloud Controller. Now the attribute of TPM support has been added to the configuration file in migrating VM. Save it and exist. Then we will resend it to the server to see if it can migrate successfully. In this time, the server has found a matching trusted cluster, and it is now transferring the image file and the status of virtual machine. After that, the user receives a request for mount from the server. We can use the commands to check the images of operating system in cloud and set the environment variable firstly. Then I run a new virtual machine and import my private key and copy an image ID number. Just wait a moment to run a virtual machine in cloud. And I will use this VM to bound the system files of the migrated VM from outside. And then we can get all the status of the migrated VM. Now we are waiting for the IP address. Now we can see that the IP address have been assigned. Then we bound this VM to the volume. Copy the ID of the volume. Okay, next, we are logging the new virtual machine by SSH to check if we can get the expected information. Open the temp dictionary to check the text. View the content of the text. Okay, we got it. So the migration is successful. Thank you.